that we all thought you were going to make a joke out of it, and you didn't,
which is
disappointed
good.
us.
I'm proud.
Thank you.
Grant just agrees with everybody. That's what I told him to do before this panel started.
No, it's true though. Crit, like he started on what, like Team Life. We see his old friends on Team Imperial. He always tweets out when they're playing Open Qualifiers main. He's always like, "Oh, I can't wait to see them play." Like he still sticks there, but he did. He found a team. Maybe he's a little better than his friends.
Yeah.
And when you move on, you get new friends.
Sometimes poems come true. Gang, don't worry. We've got a draft. Game 1, the only game in this elimination series, set to get started.
Woo!
I thought. Yes. Okay, good.
Thank God.
Moment of panic there.
There you go.
All right, so what do we got? Wisp Ogre banned out by NP. Naga Siren Warlock taken out by the Evil Geniuses. And lo and behold, it's a first pick Drow Ranger.
Holy moly, Drow Ranger. That's bad karma.
That's disgusting.
I think they had to know it's going to be Drow Ranger, though. I don't think NP's known for first picking Bat Rider. And that'd be about the only other thing you maybe want to take here.
Well, you know, one thing that we did talk about was were they going to ban that snake? It turns out, no, not first ban material. Do you guys think it's first ban or later?
Which one? Oh, Veno.
Yeah, yeah.
Venomancer.
No,
Okay.
Whoa.
So,
what the
here's
hell?
a curveball.
I told you the cheese strats. Here we go. You got to be unexpected if you want to beat a team.
Well, I
that
wouldn't
script.
say. I mean, FDL, Mikey J. White, MJW plays it. I think Complexity played in the off lane, and Universe was known for it in TI4, but it is surprising here.
Extremely
First pick,
surprising.
yes.
Yeah.
I would say reasonably surprising.
Okay.
Reasonably.
Agree to disagree.
Very well, sir. A tip of the fedora.
So, my question here, though, is why first pick the Furion?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
I think we just had that
And
question
the Spirit
answered. They want some global presence, homie.
And they have two of them.
That's it. Io's out. These guys are ready to jump
So what do
all
we
over
need?
the
We
map.
need
This
a
is sick.
Zeus, Spectre, and...
That's Silencer.
AA.
Full
Okay.
cheese,
Let's
boys.
get the worst possible 5 heroes together.
That'd be like what a draft would do if some 5K scrubs had to fight Team
No.
NP. They're like, let's just go global,
right.
please.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
I like it. Global presence is always good. You can turn a 3v3 lane. I mean, Universe TV's down to 4v3 lane. That's crazy. And there's a turn lane via
Man
crowd
himself.
favorite. Look at, he's already scared.
He's not
Yeah.
scared.
He's still
No, he has
thinking
his
about
notes.
Slax's comments
No.
right now.
There we go.
He can't quite focus on the draft.
Oh, no.
I think
Alright, I guess we're going bad, right?
I think they have to pick Bat Rider here. I mean, they don't have to, but it's the strongest hero in the pool by far. It's good versus Nature's Prophet as well. I mean, you can't stun his, you can't push him out of his teleport anymore with Bat Rider, but
Sure.
still extremely good.
So there's a
against
lot of damage, clear out the
Yeah.
Treants, all that stuff. I mean, you're right in the sense that global presence, if it doesn't come at a high opportunity cost, is great for your draft. You got to get out of the lanes, and that's where the global strats can sometimes fall a little bit flat
Yeah.
getting started.
And I like how we're seeing, just like in the E-Home versus Wings matchup, when you have two teams who scrim, play a lot of regional matchups, you see crazier stuff. You don't just see the normal, like, Alliance versus EG.
I mean, front and center that last series. Talk about hero
versus wings.
versatility.
Yeah.
My God.
Can I ask Lurky a question?
Sure.
Please?
Lurka, how do you feel about Drow Ranger? She's this hero that a lot of people ban, a lot of people don't want to play against, but at the same time, I feel like so many teams are prepared to fight against Drow that it's not even that scary of a pick anymore.
I think she's just so terribly situational, and I'm surprised at the first pick, especially given what other options were available to NP, but it may be that what you propose, that they have a cheese strat up their sleeves for a best of one, or it may be that they think, EG are capable of adapting to a Drow, but they need a game to figure out our playstyle with her, therefore we're going to play her now in this best of one, where we don't have to worry about their ability to adapt to it quite as much.
I also think you left the Drow ready. Think if Team NP didn't pick the Drow, you're giving EG Drow plus like one of a crazy middle lane, whatever they want with the aura already applied.
Yeah, and that
Can't do
works really well with their strategy.
Yeah.
They have a really great, probably the best mid laners, and you
Probably,
have to put, you got to put pressure on that mid, and that is, of course, going to leave Drow plenty of farm time.
Is an NP looking for a Shadow Demon here? If they can get it themselves? Or they
Possibly.
need to ban it?
I don't think NP need to worry too much about banning it.
Against them
don't know.
also.
Yeah.
Could we see?
I mean, Bat Rider gets kind of wrecked by Shadow Demon.
Yeah. If in good
And
positioning.
it's a good deny pick
Yeah.
for the Drow.
I'm going to say something completely nutso here.
If you say tech, is I'm leaving.
Bloodseeker, say it.
No,
Say it now.
I'm just going to say that Owie 2000, probably the best Visage player out there in the world.
Alright, I was gonna
Drow
agree
Visage,
with you if
baby.
it was
So,
Venge. Venge
well,
is definitely possible.
I mean,
Drow Visage.
hit me with this, Tom Riddles. What's
Yeah.
the deal with the fourth ban on Brewmaster, a hero that until now has not been picked or banned whatsoever?
Oh, that is the Evil Geniuses' #1 cheese strat hero. They pick
Yeah.
it all the time.
They picked it in Elim mode. They picked it, I believe, in Dota Pit, actually, and they picked it in that infamous Game 3 versus DC in TI6.
Absolutely.
When they lost.
When when they think that they got it under, you know, they got to do something crazy, they pull that out of their back sleeve, their pocket, and MP says, whoa, oh no, we know that
It could
trick.
also indicate that NB wants to play melee mid, because
Yeah.
Root just destroys
all
melee.
of them.
Ah.
Well, EG thinking hard about this third pick. This is the decider. How global do they want to go?
Come on, Zeus. Great against Drow Ranger.
Yeah, great against raindrops.
Yeah, great against...
It didn't ruin that hero at all.
Yeah, raindrops, good item.
All right, they're going to go for a Weaver. Where's this Weaver going to be?
Safe lane, yeah. There's literally nowhere else for it to go.
I've seen mid-Weaver.
Okay, no. To be fair, there was an aggro Weaver, wasn't there? Tri-lane
Yes.
Weaver with the skilled Q first?
Yes.
Yep.
I don't think EG would do that, though.
From EG, Lorca, right? Confirmed.
No, it wasn't from EG.
No.
Yeah,
it
she
was
said it
one of
was.
the, it was one of the
It was
Chinese
not.
teams.
She said it. She's saying no, but if you could just watch the camera, she's nodding
shaking
yes
my head.
and giving me a big thumbs up.
I
Thanks.
am also shaking my head no. Still.
All right, thank you, Lorca.
Well, Weaver not quite the global presence, but still very, very mobile. A little bit hard to catch, though. NP do have some solutions here. Of course, Flaming Lasso, not so shabby, and just the gust from Drow Ranger. That silence is huge.
It makes Weaver.
against
It makes Weaver get Manta. That's
Yeah.
what we saw him get last time. You have to almost. Silver Edge and silence.
Well,
Witch Doctor comes out, taking a page out of the Chinese looks,
No!
maybe.
oh my God! Wait a second. I know what this is. This is the Treant Protector pick from Evil Geniuses, guys.
Why? Versus Bat Rider?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Okay.
sure.
You can tell as he was saying absolutely, he realized his mistake. He
Not
regretted
true.
all his decisions.
What are you
in
talking
life.
about? He's got a BKB piercing stun. He's got a slow. He's got a global heal. It's everything that they need, and the vision provided by an Agnum Scepter, which will be bought for him by their final
Well,
pick of Alchemist.
it's not a stun though. You can literally Manta or BKB out of it.
No, but
Yeah.
if Bat Rider.
You can.
Yes.
No,
Oh.
BKB popped on Bat Rider when
Yes.
he goes in, and then the Treant counters it.
Well, that is a very specific scenario.
Oh well, you know me.
Every
Oh,
detail
Always
counts.
thinking about the little
Always
things.
Thinking about the most
I think EG need
thing.
they need more spammable control right now. You've got Weaver and Nature's Prophet as two of your cores. Neither of them have any kind of stun or slow. I mean, of course, Spirit Breaker is handy there, but there you go,
Oh.
Vengeful
I like the
Spirit.
bank pick.
But that means that's a support Venge zone. We have not seen that in a while, right? I believe.
Not really. We've seen mostly position 1 Venges
Why-
when she's been picked
Yeah, I
up.
mean, is it a support Venge?
You don't know
No,
that for sure.
is it a
I don't know
position-
that for sure.
Listen,
I've seen RTZ play back.
Is
yeah,
this,
but I mean, they have a Weaver. Where are you gonna put the Weaver?
is this the position
Yeah.
4 Weaver? No, wait. There was the position 4 PA.
Yeah.
She got nerfed, and we have seen a couple of teams experiment with this position 4 Weaver. I'm
So
not
what
joking.
lane
Teams have
will
done
No,
he
it.
go in?
I agree with Sunspan though. It's not for sure like vengeful support. It just feels stronger because they have that Weaver already.
Yeah.
It seems way more likely that she'd be a support. And I like that she offers so much more control for them in terms of
Good versus
stun,
Bat
in
Rider
terms of-
always.
Yeah,
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
she's a bit of a
I mean, I
save.
think the issue with that, and that's kind of the reason he hasn't been, or she hasn't been picked as a support in a long time, is because you need levels. Like level
Yeah,
6,
exactly. Yeah.
that ult is not actually that great against that right.
No,
you
it's
know?
not.
Like level 11 is when it starts actually hitting its stride, and
Yeah.
they're gonna maybe find niche. But of course, there are tomes of knowledge now.
That helps.
Great item for those supports that can't find level slacks. you know?
Thank you, Harry.
And it is also
Yeah.
it is also useful that NP can't get the Vengeful Spirit because Drow and Venge is
Mm.
also quite good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty good.
That's a really good. That's a really good point. It's a bit of a deny pick here, especially on the dire side. Having that minus armor helps with Roche control, all that kind of stuff.
Sun P, they need another support and more than likely a middle.
Yes. Of course, it could always be Bat Rider mid, but very likely to be the Mojo hero on the off
I don't
lane.
think. I know he's played it, but it's not
Right.
a Mojo hero.
Yeah. Now.
Oh, I knew it!
You picked on the wrong
Wrong
team.
team.
Wrong.
though.
What? You guys misheard me.
Oh,
I said
man, my mistake.
he's great at grabbing people to break their BKBs so Bat Riders can swoop in and grab them when their duration is done.
I like this though. Drow Ranger, a hero that's known for being kind of squishy. Now you've got 2 forms of heal, right? You've got Overgrowth that can kind of peel for her if she gets initiated on.
It's too bad Grant's not casting this game, by the way, because that irreparable damage to towers.
Okay, people
and
are playing.
buildings.
If you guys watched, I believe it was game 1 of the EGE home. Or no, it was game 2. When
was game
EOM had
2.
Tree, they were sieging down that tier 3 middle EG and they took it down to 50%. They could have just gone again and done it. It was full health next time they went.
No one's
That
making fun
healable
of you.
damage is
It
great.
may sound like I'm being
Make fun of
super
me one more
sarcastic,
time.
but I completely agree with
Okay,
Grant on
thank
this
you.
point.
It's sometimes about the little things, not the big things,
That's right.
but the minuscule things.
You know, you could go for the tower strat here, by the
Snake.
way.
Viper bait.
You get an ogre, lich, and tree,
Oh,
and you buff those towers.
your
beyond
tower's
belief.
stronger than your position
That's
5.
right. Your position 5 is useless actually at that point.
I'm honestly a little surprised to see EG ban the Viper here. I mean, with the Drow Ranger, it's a little bit more of a tempting
Right.
pick. They played it yesterday. Of course, it did not go so well. Not the classic Sumail
we
hero.
did see the Viper. I mean, that's one hero. Sumail might actually lose middle to a Drow or a Viper. And
That
if
is-
Sumail loses,
that's
like
fair
that
enough.
actually could take it out of you.
Yeah.
I did an interview with Sumail once, and he said he was deathly afraid of Snake. There it goes.
Did he actually? Or do you just want to say that word?
I just wanted to say Snake.
How's Terrorblade for NP this game?
That crossed my mind. Of course, it's the NB Classic.
Yeah.
Can work pretty well with the Drow strat.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's good. You think EG's definitely thinking about that though? They're like, oh, one of Eternal Envy's best heroes. They take out Ember, so they're almost like, yeah, take it if you really want.
I mean, theoretically, they could take it themselves.
Yeah. Might actually be better for them, yeah.
It's quite good.
I still can't believe Nature's Prophet first pick. Still
Yeah.
just blowing my mind.
What other potential NB heroes are there? Invoker still in the...
No, please, no. No more.
It's there. Invoker gets roamed on so hard by Nature's Prophet Spearbreaker. That's one of those
Yeah.
heroes that would get
Oh my God.
punished.
And
so
potentially
hard.
Venge. It's the OD. All right, a nice safe pick, one we probably should have mentioned here.
That's gonna be
Good lane
interesting though,
dominator.
because OD obviously likes to use Astral to farm creeps now.
Yeah.
So if they see OD use it, Fearon can just TP middle if a charge is already going, and he has no
Yeah.
escape mechanism at all.
Perhaps, but I mean, he's also very good against Spearbreaker in other situations when someone else is getting charged
Yeah.
too.
Yep,
It's all about
the
timing.
Astral.
It is. It's a grudge match between two titans of North America.
That really is the. Well, I want to say two best teams, but I have someone
How
next to
dare
me
you
with
say
a.
I do like the OD aura here also. Gives them a little more sustainability for the 5-man.
5
EG,
seconds?
limited time. What do they want here? This is a hard pick to call.
Call Slack.
Sumail here at
Oh!
He called
I told you, you dummies!
He actually did call this one. Credit where credit is due.
Wait, he did? When?
Yes.
He
Yeah,
said...
he said
I
they-
mean, he
each
did
could take it
mention like
themselves.
30 different
That's
scenarios.
not
to be
correct.
fair.
So, yeah. I mean, you throw enough darts, you'll hit a bullseye eventually, right?
I'll
So,
get your bullseye, you.
final draft. We need a round of predictions here, game, before we hand it to the casters. Lurker, we'll start with you. Who's taking this game?
I'm gonna call this one for EG, based partly on history and partly on motivation.
Sunspan.
Go Alchemist.
That's a vote for EG.
That's right.
Grant?
I'm looking at MSS right now, just gorgeous. But EG.
Yeah, I gotta go EG.
You guys are all so dumb. Have you not seen the intricacies that pull the string behind NP's draft? NP, GG, you can trust me.
Thank you, Slacks. And with that, we will hand it over to our brilliant casters. We've got Annie and Cap here for this best of one.
Thank you so much, Sayori. This is the absolute series we've been waiting for here. NP versus EG in a best of one elimination. It's all on the line. What do you think is going to be going down here?
I am not so sure. We definitely have a very different draft from both sides. Like NP have a Draw Ranger strat, but they mixed in the OD and a Treant Protector into it. Meanwhile, EG started off the draft really interesting, right? Going for an early Furion, a hero that's been out of the meta for quite some time. I feel like Evil Geniuses did come into this and found a way maybe to be able to counter Draw Ranger strategies, maybe with the early presence of global presence, mind you, of Spirit Breaker and Treant or the Furion. They're going to be able to put pressure on the Draw Ranger in the right kind of ways. But then again, there is the fact that Sir Action Slacks did call the last hero of Evil Geniuses, and that does put a serious damper in their strategy, right?
I mean, if Slacks
EG are a
can
bit
get
of a
in there and read the
disadvantage.
strategy, then what are NP doing?
Yeah,
right there? It's
exactly.
Next level,
you know. So NP, I think all things considered, NP's draft is okay. They picked up a Draw Ranger strategy, but they needed to be able to have a harder carry in an OD. I don't think they could just go and be like, all right, we're just going to end this game, because EG had like really good fighting cores leading up into that. They had the Furion Spirit Breaker for early control and just like early presence for team fights. There's no way that NP could go and aggro Tri-Lane, for example, and leave Furion in a 1v1, because then Furion would just TP down and make it a 4 versus 3 scenario. The Spirit Breaker is rather dangerous with all his rotations that he's going to be making. And then you had like the Weaver as well as the Vengeful Spirit. The Vengeful Spirit, a great pickup, by the way, by EG. I think it really works well as a support here against Bat Rider, has good synergy with the Weaver as well, and now it's going to be a saving hero for Sumail on top of everything else.
Yeah, this is going to get hype here. Alchemist versus OD in the mid lane. Some of the NA greats playing these heroes. What do you anticipate in terms of momentum there?
Well, Eternal Envy should be able to win the lane here, but an Alchemist is the be-all, end-all of heroes who doesn't really care, right? He's just like, well, I've got Greevil's Greed, so I can always come back. He's going to be able to do some neutraling, he'll pick up some bounty runes, and he eventually will take over in the top of the network chart over Eternal Envy, but early on, EE should be able to get some good levels. The one good thing is that Alchemist is not a hero that's going to threaten the OD in any way, which means there's little potential for Universe and Spirit Breaker to be able to rotate onto Eternal Envy simply because the Alchemist can't really help them out that much. But we'll see. Maybe with the combination of the two, they can actually kill Eternal Envy once in this laning phase.
Zai showing off his first rotation there, just a casual charge onto EE, but not a whole lot of damage popped out there. Sumail picks up his level 2 now, opts to go in for the Acid Spray. Not a huge surprise. Oh, Courier Snipe coming in, very well played by the Furion.
Yeah, nice pickup there. Good read. Universe able to just rotate in with the teleport at the right time. That is a very big pickup. This is going to make sure that the OD is not able to fully dominate that Alchemist in the mid lane. You combine the fact that Spirit Breaker is going to be there occasionally with some rotations, and that was a brilliant move by EG. The combination of that, and also now they have Artesian Crit up here in this top lane, putting pressure on the Batrider. Batrider, the big initiation force for NP here. If he does not get a fast Blink Dagger, they're going to lose a lot of control in that 15-minute window.
Universe going in, laying on some right clicks onto 1437, following up with a
done
charge.
for, I
This
think.
could be good. I mean, there's a chance there could be the coconut of a lifetime coming out, but looks like 1437.
Oh, we got
gonna sit there,
bashed.
and that will be the first blood. An Ancient's Prophet all around the map, having a huge impact so far.
Yeah, already these poor supports, they have the Treant Protector that they picked up a little later on is a pretty okay hero, won't have to deal with the Furion as much. Zemesis dead here?
He's
Might
gonna
be.
trying to get his way through the trees, but the Bucky's still giving him vision. They are able to pop out that magic missile. Looks like Arteezy will take a coconut bounce, and 1427 might be able to turn this into a turn kill. Arteezy getting very, very low. And he's gonna pop into the Sakuchi, but can he actually get out of here? He's gonna make his way back on through, but one more hit means 1437 can make this an even lane.
Arteezy, I think, kind of had the right idea where he went straight up. He knew the counter ward was going to be laid down. He thought his only escape was going to be up through the trees, but he didn't have quite enough mechanisms to be able to eat through all of that. So, stuck in the end. Nice turnaround play there from NP with the right rotation of the Witch Doctor. Meanwhile, their Draw Ranger lane 13 and 3 CS there for AUI 2000. The Furion is obviously getting a lot done around the map, so his CS doesn't matter quite as much.
Yeah, I'm hoping NP are going to really try to pick up that early game push and go in rotating, pre-20 minutes just to try to get the most out of their draft strat, because late game, EG is going to be scaling really well with the Weaver and with the Alchemist.
Yeah, Alchemist has a very large amount of CS.
Yes, he does.
He's 16-2. That really normally shouldn't happen because you're guaranteeing probably at least one CS is going to be missed by the imprisonment, as we're going to see here. Eternal Envy gets the deny on a free creep, right? Maybe just the fear of the Furion in general is keeping him from being able to be too aggressive on Sumail. You saw there with the acid spray down and Furion just kind of faking out a TP. Jackie had to back up a bit just for fear of the physical damage that would come in with the Furion as well as a potential Spirit Breaker charge.
Yeah, they're definitely going in for this. Crit is able to toss out a magic missile. The Spirit Breaker will follow up, and they do put the rotation into the Nature's Prophet if they need it. Defensive imprisonment, buying some time. Zai eating up the tower shots, but they should still be able to get this kill onto Envy. But the living armor coming in. Nature's Prophet comes through, and with the Sprout, they are able to lock him down and secure that blood.
Jesus, I thought the imprisonment, because of the fact that he can always imprison against Zai's rotation, I thought he'd be okay in this mid lane, but EG are just committing so many resources. They bring crit, they bring their two roamers.
This is going to be a dead 1437
Yes.
here. It looks like he's not able to get away. The Geminate attack doing a fair amount of work. The Coconut buying some time, and he is able to make it under tower with that Voodoo Restoration.
Part of the reason Jackie dies there, right, is that 1437 didn't have a TP. So despite the fact that he bought himself so much time, he had the living armor to be able to fall back on, the right kind of imprisonment, he still wasn't able to get away from all those heroes. If NP has the TPs on at least the Witch Doctor, a little bit later on, it would be nice for the Draw Ranger to pick up his TP. Then they could very easily save Jackie and bail him out when he's being dove like that.
Yeah, I love the way EG are playing this early game, really keeping NP on their toes, because with the draft that NP has, they want to be able to go and win their lanes and group up and start to push and be the aggressors, but if EG constantly have their Spear Breaker charging around and going after weak supports that are trying to rotate, it gives them a huge amount of dominance in the early game.
Looks like NP MSS has taken a break from being up there in that top lane and is now occupying the jungle. I'm presuming he's going to be trying to stack and farm up this while still maintaining like a little bit of closeness to that mid lane, so if the OD gets dove again, he can at least respawn and try and help out. But I'm sure EG, they may not direct more of their aggression at that mid lane. They may decide that maybe bottom lane's the lane to go for. As a result, though, NP have this really nice aggressive ward you can see that is being countered out by Crit and his counter ward that was laid down earlier, so that is unfortunately taken away. But it was a nice idea from NP, right? Because they could see the Spirit Breaker's rotation if they try and gank the Drow Ranger lane.
Yeah, the good thing right now is that NP still have their Drow free farming. She's getting a lot out of the lane, hasn't been ganked, hasn't been focused down, and she is going to be top of the CS chart.
Yeah, I think Evil Geniuses is probably happy with the laning phase is going. They got their level 6 on Alchemist without much of an issue. NP did not have much of a ganking partners to be able to stop him.
He's going to be going in, trying to get that TP out, and the stuns are not going to be there. They already commit the magic missile to start the fight, so without that Venge initiation, there's not a whole lot to break that up.
Yeah, AUI lending a slight helping hand, a good aggressive mid ward to be laid down by EG, but I think that was scouted by this deeper ward that was laid down by the Dire side here by the river. So they should be able to counter out that mid ward. That also is kind of helping out, seeing where Crit is rotating, if he's leaving that bottom lane. Because that's part of the thing, right? Furion can be off map for so much time, and Jackie never feels really comfortable because sometimes the Vengeful Spirit isn't showing up in lane and the Furion's gone and the Spirit Breaker's going to be off map most of the time. There's 3 heroes missing half the time and they're not really going to fall that far behind when it comes to farm either. Furion can take jungle and he's being part of hero kills. The Vengeful Spirit obviously doesn't really need much, and neither does the Spirit Breaker.
Speaking of Spirit Breaker, we're charging in, trying to get that pressure onto the Drow Ranger, but she might be catching wind of this. Vengeful Spirit is there, ready to go with her magic missile, but is she going to get deep enough under tower to make it a difficult initiation? There's the Gust driving back the Spirit Breaker, and they're not going to be moving forward for that. Yeah,
both OD as well as Drow Ranger have great defense mechanisms against the Spirit Breaker, the pushback of the Gust, as well as that imprisonment. And then they've got the living armor to be able to help out these heroes as well. Weaver going for a bit of a little tussle there with 1437 in the top lane. You never know when an aggressive dive is going to be able to turn into a kill, because again, the global presence, Universe could have just as easily TP'd behind that tier 1 tower, and they could have tried to sandwich that Witch Doctor, but it looks like instead they're going to try and put pressure on these lanes. This is in part why the Living Armor was picked up by, the Treant Protector was picked up, right? Because the Living Armor would help deal with this split push, but Evil Geniuses just means they have to commit a little bit harder than they normally would. You'll see them take that tower down from 100 to nothing.
Oh, now 1437 might actually be a little bit too far forward. He was trying to be sneaky, trying to just toss the coconut around, but without allies and a defensive tower to stand behind, he's an easy pick for EG.
Yeah, meanwhile, Alchemist is going to be gone on here. If they can actually get this one, it'd be huge, but I don't think the two of them have nearly enough damage.
Especially not with Spirit Breaker in the midst.
Yeah, so that just means they're going to trade 1 tower for 1 tower. I think 1437 didn't really have much business being there. He couldn't stop that tower push. It was pretty clear. And NP can just trade off with the bottom lane being pushed out by the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked a bunch about AUI. Is he exactly on par with what you want, or would you expect Drow to be trying to rotate, trying to push a little bit more aggressively?
No, when you start off with sort of a aggro dual lane, I guess, is that NP was doing. You're thinking about getting that tower probably in the 6 to 8 minute mark, maybe a little bit later if the lane gets stalled up. This is about the right timing for NP.
MSS, unfortunately, Sentry Ward drop down will stop his sneaky attack, and he does have to go back now. He's picked up his lasso nice and early, not going to be going in for an immediate drums. It looks like he is saving for Blink.
Yeah, they definitely do need that early Blink Dagger.
This could be a great kill. Another Gust stopping out the charge, but can Spirit Breaker weather the storm? Looks like they're going to give up the chase for now. Treant Protector is going to be there with the Living Armor to help out if things got too rough.
Yeah, honestly, it seems like NP are going to be able to find farm. They don't have to group up a whole bunch against this global presence, at least not right now. Simply because their cores are pretty good at reacting to Spirit Breaker's rotations. MSS can go ahead and farm up the jungle pretty efficiently. The problem I really have is that the Alchemist has gotten a lot of farm. They didn't quite have the supports to put pressure on that mid lane, especially given the presence of Furion and Spirit Breaker. They just counter your gank pretty easily. So the Alchemist is getting pretty far ahead. NP don't have a way to truly shut him down. It's going to be more about the overall strategy of the game and trying to push down towers.
Once again, 1437 really caught completely on his own there. Should be finished off by our little Weaver there. Going in deep, they want to get through this Living Armor, and with the bug, they are able to chunk through him. So Arteezy picking up another kill for himself. Now 2-1-1. and having a huge amount of pressure put in this top lane.
Yeah, another kill that goes the way of EG because of vision. They had that classic dire side clip ward that was laid down. You just see Witch Doctor pinging out. He knows that he was charged because of that ward, so they should be able to deal with that. Zai occupying the enemy jungle and also kind of being a deterrent force. He knows that if any rotations are going to come through, he's going to spot them out. And Arteezy will be safe.
Here we go, Drow actually not going to get off the gust this time. Nature's Prophet trying to do what he can remotely, does end up TPing in right into the coconut. It looks like 1437 might be trying to stall this out. There's going to be the living armor on AUI, buying some time. Lasso coming in as well. Arteezy in some serious trouble. They will get down the bug. They're looking for more. Crit slowed down, can't quite turn fast enough, and the frost arrows keeping him close, and that will be a kill for the Bat Rider. Nice turnaround from NP.
Nice play. NP bringing all their heroes. That was a little bit over-aggressive, I would say, from Evil Geniuses. Crit had the read that he could swap out the Drow Ranger with Arteezy making his rotation to mid lane. Maybe they can get a kill, but NP bringing all their heroes to the fore, and they're going to be able to go straight from that into a quick Roshan, very early one. 11 minutes in, but this is what NP need to be able to do, right? They're going to be pretty reliant on being able to get Roshans for the OD, so he's not as threatened when it comes to these team fights. And then they need to be able to take objectives off the Aegis timings as well as pickoffs.
Yeah, really classic trade there. Roshan for a little chip damage onto the tier 2, but this is way earlier than we usually see that go down. The Precision Aura and, of course, the rat-based heroes on EG showing their worth.
Yeah, Alchemist is still going to be a problem. OD is not bad versus the Illusion split push because he's got that orb, but it is still going to be a problem. Samael will have a Radiance probably about 16-17 minutes, given his current rate of farm and the fact that NP are highly unlikely to be able to gank him before this time. Like, he may have Radiance before we even look towards a Blink Dagger on MSS's Bat Rider, and that's the big problem, right? Bat Rider got threatened a whole lot in lane, and now he's not going to be able to have any pressure on the map, really, in that 15-minute marker when you want to see Bat Riders be able to get pickoffs on cores and slow down their item regression, which means Alchemist is going to get farm, and we're probably going to be seeing the Linkens before that first lasso can come out on Arteezy.
Yeah, the Bat Rider had a really tough time in this super early game, going against Avenge and a Weaver. Those are not heroes that it's fun to lane against, even at level 1 or 2, so I like his choice to rotate and bail out and start jungling here. It will keep him ahead and prevent any more bleeding on the side of MP.
Smoke up. They are looking for any kind of pick off when they have this Drow Ranger push.
This would be a great pick on Seville right before his Radiance comes out, and they're going to be lassoing up. He's sitting underneath the Death Ward, and even through the Chemical Rage, they are able to take him out.
Yeah, that's great. I did not think they were going to be able to find a pick off like that, but the right smoke rotation finds Samael, stalls out that Radiance. Unfortunately for them, it comes a minute too late as he had already grabbed the Relic, but at least they delay the full Radiance a little bit longer. SVG currently playing a bit of a scouting game here, watching both Crit and Zai sitting up in this cliff area.
He's in some dangerous territory, just trying to creep around. Nature's Prophet actually goes in, makes a nice little path for him, so thanks Universe.
And he's away.
That was a little too convenient. Now Arteezy coming in, maybe figuring out he might get body blocked. Maybe noticing that, but it looks like SVG just getting a lot of information for his team, and NP, they can use that to their advantage. Now Bat getting some free farm in the jungle, taking up this nice stack in the Radiant side.
Yeah, they can play a bit of an efficiency game right now. AUI can play off of Ancients. OD knows he's safe for the time being at top. Because the information that SVG is getting him, and even MSS is getting some time at bottom.
Envy could be in trouble here. He's going to be going in, trying to grab a rune, but Weaver picks up the invis, and Envy will not even get a chance to try to disrupt himself. Aegis immediately pops down. SVG with the ultimate. Is that going to be enough to stall this out with the Witch Doctor coming in? It might be enough. Another Coconut breaks up the fight. Now Universe split off from the herd. We'll take a Maledict. He's going to be the target here. Will get imprisoned. I don't know if he can get out of this one alive. Bat Rider tossing out the fire. They get the flame break as well. Easy kill on the Nature's Prophet, but it does preserve the rest of EG's heroes.
Yeah, so they essentially trade an Aegis for a Furion. I was a little bit surprised that Jackie went down to that area in the first place, since SVG scouted quite a bit of it.
This is huge, though. This stack going the way of NP means that EG are just going to be so stunted, and Alchemist is going to be starting to fall behind just a little bit of where you'd expect.
Yeah, this is why EG are positioned so heavily around this area, is because Alchemist is pretty reliant on the Ancient stacks, so they were trying to protect that area as much as possible. The first misstep was the fact that NP managed to find that tier 1 tower push relatively early on, just due to like the right kind of pickoff and the right positioning. And then Now it's going to be the fact that they managed to take away one stack. If they can take away the tier 1 tower at top lane, get some aggressive vision down somewhere in that Radiant area, around that ancient camp, then Evil Genius is going to be even harder pressed to be able to give Alchemist that space. But then again, I guess he's already gotten his Radiance, and as soon as he gets the Boots of Travel and the Manta, then he doesn't rely on Ancients anymore, right? He just relies on being able to throw out his illusions into lanes and split push you to death.
I'm interested to see how Universe is going to keep playing this one forward, because he spent a little bit of time pushing in the top lane, same as RTZ, trying to chip down this tier 2, but NP, they've got a Treant, and it seems like everything they're putting in is just getting nullified by that living armor.
Drow Ranger with that full up Hurricane Pike. They're going to definitely be trying to play a distance game. They've got 3 really good frontline heroes to be able to buy space for their ranged glass cannon style heroes. The Train Protector with his Overgrowth, you've got the Bat Rider with Lasso, and even that Paralyzing Cast is going to be very effective versus heroes like Spirit Breaker and even the Alchemist if they get a little too close to each other.
Drow definitely going for that Sentry Turret style build where she just wants to sit and be protected by her cores and not have to worry about her own survivability.
Yeah, absolutely. The Lincoln's is almost up for our Weaver. So at that point in time, right, RTZ feels a lot more comfortable split pushing out the waves. He knows that the Bat Rider won't be having, he doesn't even have Blink yet, so Force Staff is the next item that Bat Rider needs to be able to get, so he can blink in, use the Force Staff offensively, break the Lincolns, and then try and get the Lasso, but that means so much time where RTZ can push aggressively.
Well, they're so eager to go in onto Sumail here. MSS going to be waiting in the wings. They're just going to get a quick Lasso off him. He's got no chemical raids either. He's just going to sit there and, well, he's in the fire, getting nailed on by AUI as well. Easy kill, so that's going to be Sumail getting locked down. He's off the map for close to a minute, not getting any more gold, and I mean, he's top of the net worth chart, but it feels like Drow is just so much scarier at this point.
Yeah, they're trying to do what they can. Furion immediately goes up to that top lane, starts pushing against that tier 2 tower, but guess what? Jackie is already TP back. He's going to be able to deal with that push, and the rest of his allies can feel free to pressure that tier 2 tower at the bottom lane. So EG, their only option left at that point is to try and pressure mid. Actually, they're going to try and get a kill here on Eternal Envy, but there is no way they can take Jackie on with just 2 heroes.
And that is immediate regret from Zai as there's TPs to follow through. MSS does not have his Lasso, but they might still be able to find this. Bash coming in onto Eternal Envy, just buying a little bit of time, but there's the Sanities before the charge can take him away to safety.
Yeah, he was just about to get the hell out of there, but our Spirit Breaker dropped by a nice ultimate there from Eternal Envy. Makes the correct read. Train Protector's trying to build into a mech right now. They're trying to get to a point. They'll have this window about 25 minutes in, I think, on the second Aegis when they have mech. That they can try and maybe not even go for a high ground push, but they can at least take out the rest of these tier 2s and try and control the map. I'm not sure they are completely rushed to go high ground though, since they do have an OD.
Martese trying to go for this. There will be a charge onto Eternal Envy, most likely going to get cancelled as he's now surrounded by friends, and well, it's just a nice way to get Spirit Breaker into the fight. He's got SVG sitting back. He does have his Overgrowth ready, so this could be a good fight if NP want to pressure forward, but seems like for now, NP is going to enjoy the fact that they can go onto the Radiant territory and not feel scared for their life anymore. It's very different than we saw 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, the great part about having a Dream Protector on the side of the OD is that you're keeping these towers alive, and this OD has this really great defensive mechanism and imprisonment where he can imprison himself, and that just buys so much time for his allies to be able to make the rotations, right, whether through TPs or just through general mobility like the Bat Rider, and they can go ahead and bail Eternal Envy out when he's facing up against some of these ganks. So the fact that they're still holding on to their tier 1 at mid as well as bottom says very good things about NP's positioning against the ganks. That being said, they still have to deal with the fact that Alchemist is getting pretty far ahead, but I still think they're in a great position because the Weaver hasn't made too much progression. RTZ is still sitting at 6,500, which is below the Bat Rider.
Poor Zai trying to charge out of here, but not going to be so lucky. Death Ward committed, Flame Break just keeping him right in that radius of pain, and he will go down once again. That's going to be Spirit Breaker's multiple deaths for him now.
Yeah, this time around it's NP who are getting all the clutch pickoffs here because of their aggressive vision and the fact that they managed to keep these wards up. This time around they had a ward way off in the dire jungle around that non-existent tier 2. They're also going to be trying to protect Roshan for now because they've got either 1 to 3 minutes, right? Something like that, where Roshan's going to be up. And with AUI sitting on a Shadow Blade now, fresh pickup for him. If they can take away these tier 2 towers, and then they can control the map. Evil geniuses are going to have to take certain kind of risks and go for split pushes that can be countered by a Shadowblade Draw Ranger. You find those little picks where a hero like Furion, he tries to TP way out to a lane and cut the creep wave or whatever. Draw Ranger is the perfect counter to that. You are able to stop his teleport out with that silence, and a little bit of help from maybe like a Bat Rider can ensure other kills like the Alchemist or Weaver.
Yeah, and MP a pretty good catch. I mean, if they rotate in the Witch Doctor, all he has to do is Coconut, cancel that TP, and that will make plenty of room for the rest of NP to get in there and do the damage necessary.
I think in some ways, NP, and I think many teams actually look at it this way, is that, oh no, hold on.
Yeah, looks like Zai's going to be in some trouble. He can charge out if he lives long enough, but they're going to bring an MSS. That Spirit Breaker just absolutely demolished Zai. He felt so prominent in the really early game. Nice rotations from him, but it seems like he's just been getting punished over and over in this mid-game chunk.
Yeah, he is. He's certainly not getting the progression items. He's sitting bottom of the net worth chart, but it's also really threatening the Weaver. The Weaver, again, is having a hard time finding farm, and it's going to be even harder for Universe. The Draw Ranger threatens both of these heroes with the Shadowblade, and that's the part of this, right? Is that Alchemist will always get some farm. You can't stop him out completely, especially with this lineup of NP.
Sumail? He's going in. He realizes very quickly that is a bad decision. Just going to bail out, go back to his side of the map.
We get a little bit of vision. A charge onto MSS. So they could defend top lane just because they know two heroes are bottom. So that's where Sumail's going to be headed off to.
Yeah, a little bit of patience. This is definitely NP's strong point so far. They're in that, 20 to 25 minute mark with the Drow Ranger. Pretty much free farm on her. Her net worth is fantastic. She's now got her initiation tools to go in and start the fights off. How do EG have to play to deal with this right now? And what's the window where EG can start to get aggressive again?
Well, I'm not sure if they can get aggressive anytime soon. Not just because there's a Draw Ranger lineup, and this is one of their big peaks, but also because of the fact they'll usually have an Aegis to be able to fall back on. They just need to buy themselves time. That is the biggest thing. And what NP need to do is not necessarily worry about shutting down the Alchemist, but making sure that the Weaver and the Furion don't have any progression in farm. And that's where the Bat Rider and the Draw Ranger are really going to come in. EG going to try and make a smoke and contest, but this will not be fast enough.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to be able to get the Roche in time, but can they actually go in and try to take a fight here? You saw Nature's Prophet try to TP into the pit, realizes quickly he's not going to be in time. Swap back though, MSS could be in some trouble, will get charged up. Living Armor keeping him safe for now, a nice Death Ward doing some work there. SVG going to be able to go and keep himself strong. Meanwhile, Arteezy looking to focus down. AUI has to time-lapse back just to keep himself up. Now Radiance from the Alk will help secure a kill onto the Witch Doctor, so you're going to lose 2 on NP. EG, they're down 2 as well. They'd really like to go in for some more kills here. Eternal Envy going to be taking an unstable concoction in the Acid Spray. Nature's Prophet TPing in. Universe goes for the Sprout, cuts through the Living Armor. Is there enough damage though? Looks like Sumail coming back in, trying to get something done, but the Drow from the Gus is going to be enough to stop this. Arteezy realizing he can't quite dive that deep, and AUI should be fine. Just going to focus down that little bug. Meanwhile, the rest of EG just going back to farming and feeling a little bit safe pushing in the lanes now.
Man, that was a very close fight. I think there was a little bit of miscall there between the two teammates. Bat Rider jumps in thinking he's going to be like lassoing the Alchemist or something like that, and OD just simply imprisons him. And the bad part of that is not necessarily imprisoning the Alchemist, that's fine, but the fact that Bat Rider makes that jump forward and doesn't manage to get a lasso on anybody, just gets swap back stun, and he's out of the fight instantly. Otherwise, maybe NP could actually fight that base around the Aegis. Either way, NP, like a 2 for 2, but they walk away with the Aegis, and their core lies intact. They now have a silver edge on the Draw Ranger, as well as that Aegis. I think they're comfortable to push down that tier 2 at mid, as well as the 2 towers at top. Try and get some aggressive vision up, and again, keep the Furion and Weaver down for as long as possible. I'm not sure if they go high ground with this Aegis, or maybe the next one. Aegis and Cheese would be nice to have, where you can have the Cheese for the OD, or Aegis and put Cheese on Draw Ranger, either way. Because I think that's another peak, right? Draw Ranger strats are usually very good at 25 minutes. If they have their basic items, everyone's hitting really hard. They've got this amazing team fight and pushing power. But because of the OD, they don't necessarily top out at this point. OD is a hero that gets much stronger more like 40 minutes into the game. So they're going to try and make a rotation. If they get the right pick, though, they can even just go straight down mid and see if they can force buybacks.
They don't have vision on Arteezy here, so probably just going to settle for this tower. Got no backdoor protection, easy enough to take down. They're waiting, trying to bait out any rotations in, but EG, they're very defensive here. They're not going to get too crazy.
Yeah, if you look at the bottom lane, the Alchemist is currently pushing those out with the illusions. Nobody's showing there. Mid lane's being pushed out, nobody's showing there. And even top lane, where the tier 1 tower is still up, and there's some creeps out there, no one's showing from NP. So it seems pretty obvious for Evil Geniuses that NP have smoked up. They're not trying to pressure in our towers with the Aegis, and that's just kind of classic, right? You have this Aegis, you feel like you've got a pretty good advantage. If you get the right pickoff, you can just go boom, real quickly, like push down the mid tier 2, go high ground, see if you can force a buyback, and all of a sudden you're in this great position. Doesn't happen here though. They're just going to have to go for some regular pushes, which EG will probably trade off those top 2 towers. Maybe they'll trade off those top 2 towers for farming space for the Weaver and the Alchemist. I'm not sure if you want to get into a fight with NP right now. They are very strong.
Yeah, that tower going down super quick. AUI clearly super farm, second on the net worth chart. Let's talk a little about the OD though. He's saving up a big stack of pennies as well. What does he want to be picking up?
Ashivas actually would not be a bad item here. I think the general armor, you're talking about a lot of physical damage coming out from the Weaver, Spirit Breaker, Furion, and Alchemist. Even the Vengeful Spirit is amping up other people's physical damage as well. So I think Shivas is a nice armor upgrade, as well as gives you a big boost in intelligence and generally kites some of these heroes around. Alchemist is a melee hero. Weaver doesn't have that fast of attack speed just yet. So that definitely could be to your benefit. Man, Arteezy only has that Dragon Lance as well as the Lincolns right now. No Desolator in sight, which is really limiting their ability to take these towers. This Dream Protector pick, despite that early tier 1 tower being taken atop, has done so much work, right? He couldn't save that tower, but he's kept the bottom tier 1 and mid tier 1 alive for 26 minutes. That's pretty impressive. EG will finally take at least one of those. NP, no contest just yet.
Yeah, you had Batrider there thinking about going for a lasso, but I like this reservation from NP. They know that this is their window. If they start to throw it, if they start to make real wacky plays, EG can easily start to pull ahead and limit the impact of NP's push lineup right now. So going in, only taking safe engages, and now NP are going to be grouping up, just fighting as a team, getting their next round of items, and now they can just continue to wait out Roche.
You know, I'm not entirely sure when this lineup really peaks out for NP, because the Drow Ranger does, it's not like she suddenly drops in strength, right? It's not a Viper or anything like that. It still remains a heavy hitter going later into the game. So NP can play a slower pace game, but I become more concerned around maybe 35, 40 minutes when if they haven't really taken tier 2s and they haven't pushed uphill once yet. I start getting concerned that the Alchemist will split push you out as long as he wants. He's already got the Manta as well as the Octarine on top of boots of travel.
Looks like Drow Ranger is able to score a kill on Arteezy. Nice work from there. Not able to get off his time lapse. He was silenced up. Thanks, Pimp Muckle. It's all good.
Yeah, JJ. Way to miss the first kill of the tournament.
All right. Demail going to be moving forward. There is an Astral. Vengeful Spirit trying to do what she can to help out here, and it looks like Eternal Envy will back off. Again, showing reservation, and there's going to be wrap around here. They want to go on to Spirit Breaker. Zai completely shut down the shot. Not enough to save his life, and there will be a movement back in. Eternal Envy wants to go for more here. They're going on to Crit. Crit bit off way more than he could chew. There's 5 heroes, but at least defending the rest of EG, they are able to get their
yeah, they found their opening, right? They find the Alchemist, and then the Alchemist, Samael did this nice play where he pops the illusion and he moves it upwards. He moves it north because what he's trying to do is stop the Batrider from being able to blink in and follow up on that initiation from the OD, but he stops that, but his allies end up kind of getting caught, right? The Spirit Breaker on the side, then Crit has to turn and just kind of man fight because he wants to make sure that his cores stay alive no matter what. He wants to make sure that NP can't just like run at them and get pick off after pick off all the way into the tier 3s.
He's looking for a clutch lasso here. There's going to be a channeled up stun. He'd love to make out stun himself. Eternal Envy will end up eating it, but it's nothing he can't deal with. Living armor to keep him safe, and now they are going to be going in onto the Alch, trying to wait out this chemical rage, and looks like the sanity should be enough to get him down. He's got the armlet toggles, but it will not be enough to save his life.
Nice big burst of damage there. That's what the OD is so good for against the Alchemist. You think you got that sustained regen over time. Now he's going to be able to find an extra pick off here with the silence. Zai has no chance of escape.
He tries to get himself down to the low ground, but the damage coming out of NP is so phenomenal right now. And now they are able to clean up the tier 2 towers. Did they try to go high ground here? The Aegis not going to be there, but they found a huge window. Arteezy, meanwhile, doing what he can to try to work on cutting this wave, but he's still got tier 1s to deal with. Meanwhile, his own tier 3s getting chunked. Backdoor protection, not going to be up just yet. And there we go. Easy tier 3. Now the Rax starting to get focused down EG. It seems like they can't do much against this. They don't have their Alk up. The Spear Breaker's not there for initiation, and Arteezy just isn't big enough on the Weaver to put out the damage that EG needs.
Yeah, EGE tried to do this play, not just the Weaver cutting the creep wave, but if they'd also been able to summon Treants and push out in time and use the Furion on to kill the creep wave that was coming in, they could have kept backdoor protection up, and then that would have completely stalled out the push. But they couldn't kill that one creep wave that was coming in fast enough, and NP, that's all they need. And NP are actually looking to just close out this game nice and quick. There's no tier 2 at bottom lane, so when they back up, they smoke up and try and go back in. If they find that right pick or even a full-out team fight, they could have just as easily taken second lane of Rax, and that probably would have been game over for EG.
MSS has Lasso again. If they actually manage to grab the Alchemist here, I think that could be a game-winning play for NP.
Yeah, but you can see Evil Geniuses have that idea in their mind. Nobody's TP'd out to the bottom lane just yet to be able to push that, so no one's showing on the map. Again, it makes that kind of tricky rotation that NP are trying to pull off a little bit more obvious. EG don't get caught by that one, but still doesn't change the fact that NP are well ahead, and they're not going to drop off anytime soon.
Oh, Dire Scan, is it going to reveal here? They do end up catching out this smoke. This could be phenomenal. EG getting aggressive, leaving their base for the first time in a long time, looking for something, but Arteezy going to change target, swap back up. EE in some trouble, going to get stunned. There is a gust in the drought. Ranger trying to break things up. Oh, the Overgrowth doing some work. The Acid Spray trying to keep everyone low, but it looks like the Death Ward still bouncing around. There is going to be a drag. They end up getting the kill in the Spear Breaker, so the initiation is not there, but the damage from EG is still present. Witch Doctor gets a kill on the vent. The core is all alive on EG. Can they retreat without any more bleeding?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Evil Geniuses are pretty desperate right now. They don't want to deal with another NP push, so they're trying to be the aggressors. They're trying to force a team fight on NP's side of the map, but NP set up very nicely for that one. They all stayed around that high ground, just waited out the smoke rotation, and Evil Geniuses, I think, desperate enough to try and go into that high ground scenario and make the fight happen anyway.
I mean, is it better for EG just to sit back and try to look for safe farm and try to wait until the late game, or do NP show enough strength that they can just keep plowing forward and taking all of EG structures?
At a certain point, you wanted to be able to draw out the game and do that sort of thing, but the moment that NP were able to find the right kind of pickoff to allow them to go high ground, you have to start playing more desperate. You have to be a little bit more risky in your plays, because NP, if you just try and play split push, right? All NP is going to do is just group up, go down bottom lane with the next Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese, and they'll easily take that lane of Rax. Again, NP is not going to drop off anytime soon, so you have to buy yourself a way back into this game. And winning some sort of aggressive team fight would certainly offset the early loss of your mid lane of Rax by quite a bit.
Yeah, Radiant don't have phenomenal vision right now. You've got Arteezy crawling around the Dire jungle, just trying to find something here, but NP, they're keeping themselves pretty hidden. They're going in, staying nice and reserved. The next round of items are going to be coming out soon.
Sumail will complete an Assault Cuirass. We're just going to be listing off items that Sumail is completing, because unfortunately, Arteezy not having too much progression in farm. Furion is picking up little pieces here and there, but it's certainly not going to be game-changing, right? He tries to pick up these sort of like stat sort of team fight items so they can actually contest NP for some of these pushes, but it hasn't worked out for them just because of the way the laning phase went. They weren't able to find any pickoffs. NP just kept really good control of this game. They didn't give away too many kills to the Spirit Breaker Furion combination. That global presence was not very impactful, and now they're just making sure they don't bleed away anything extra. They can go ahead and get themselves the Aegis and Cheese, get the next upgrade in items for the Drow Ranger and the OD, and I don't think there's anything else stopping them from going high ground.
Arteezy is still trying to work on this tier 2, but after the Fortify and the Living Armor and not knowing where NP are after that Roche attempt, it is very scary for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, this is going to be rough if Eternal Levy looks like he can be completing up a Scythe device, so how does anybody challenge him at that point in time? Like if the Weaver goes for him, they can go ahead and imprison, then Scythe. The Spear Breaker charges, he gets scythed up before the charge completes. If Furion tries to TP onto you, same thing. And he's even got the Hurricane Pike if necessary, a Cheese to be able to fall back if he's in trouble. I just don't see the way for Evil Genius to actually be able to pop these heroes in a traditional team fight, right? So they have to get a little bit tricky with it. I don't think they can just split push their way for another like 10 minutes and find an opening here. I think they actually are going to be forced into a situation where they smoke and do a wraparound and see if they can get just the right opening. and that doesn't involve killing the Drow Ranger, obviously. That's part of the problem with this. He's got the Aegis.
Witch Doctor now picking up an Aghanim Scepter. That's just showing how much gold is going onto this Witch Doctor. He's had a huge game impact so far, and that ulti is going to be even more dangerous. The Death Ward's been doing a great job, particularly in killing off the Spirit Breaker. He's died to it probably 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, the Death Ward is kind of like the cherry on top for Witch Doctor as a hero. It's not necessarily why you pick the hero, you know, it's unreliable damage, paralyzing cask, and the sustain offered by Voodoo Restoration, as well as the Maledict against tankier heroes. Those are all good enough reasons to pick up the Witch Doctor. If he actually gets the Aghanim Scepter, you're just like, okay, we didn't really need that to win, but now it makes it a whole lot easier.
Sumail desperately trying to look for stuff. He's still top of the net worth chart, but the problem is converting all that net worth into kills, into game advantage, and it's just not coming out yet.
Nice MKB pickup against the Radiance of the that Alchemist. It's going to make going high ground all the easier for NP. I don't see how EG stopped this.
Well, they're going to have to try. Acid Spray just casually tossed out, but AUI not too bothered. There's a deny attempt from Crit, but not even that's going to be successful. Now Al's going to end up going, get gusted up, and is able to manta off the stun, so not going to be dropping himself just yet. But NP, again, very collected here. They know they don't have to get crazy. They don't have to YOLO into the racks, because at this point, EG are so starved for farm that they're not scared of this game going any later.
Yeah, the last time NP faced up against Evil Geniuses, they weren't able to prove them. Oh, nice swap back.
Swap forward. Can they actually get MSS here? Looks like he will end up falling. AUI now turning to focus. There's so much damage. Zai getting low. There is going to be a force forward. 1437 running for his life. The overgrowth, though. This is going to be the turnaround. NP doing so much damage. The Sanity is popping. Everyone down. Double kill coming out. They're able to go ahead and get the gust up. The Furion will not make it back to the base. And Arteezy, one of the lone survivors, not able to do anything here. The Witch Doctor dropping the base right there. There's going to be a reinitiation. Buybacks coming in, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. The Prophet gets himself back in as well. There's going to be a Sprout coming in, but the damage just isn't there. Universe barely chipping away at him. Even Arteezy adding to the pool. This OD is still survivable. The Shiva's armor is doing so much work now. There's going to be the cheese consumed. Sumail getting very low. Cannot afford to go down here. Will fall. That's going to be an alpha. No buyback. And the CG called out. NP eliminate Evil Geniuses from the Northern Arena.
What a clean game by NP. Man, they just played this. It's a Drow Ranger strategy, but they played it not quite to perfection, but I'd say about as good as you can expect, right? Dota's a game of mistakes, but they made so few positioning errors. They didn't really allow themselves to get picked off by the Spirit Breaker or the Furion. They weren't able to get that